Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to Chess Classics You Must Know, episode 24. This is Sagar Shah, and we are slowly moving up, 24 games. I want to create a series where we have all the classics nicely covered, and that any player who wants to later on, watch them can quickly get to know about all these great games in the world of chess. So, welcome to everyone, and very sorry for my delay because I was, to tell you the truth, I slept very late in the night and I woke up and I was like, what? It is not, it is past 7:30. So, sorry for that. But I think we are going to have a wonderful time today. And let me switch to the chessboard. Any guesses, guys? Any guesses on whose game we are going to see? By the way, thank you all for 753k. We are moving up slowly and steadily, nicely. Who is going to be our champion today? Whose game we are going to see? Any guesses? Any guesses? Sveshnikov is a good idea, yeah, because I could have done that because he passed away yesterday and I could have shown a game, but no, it's not Sveshnikov. Yeah, it's a very sad thing that the world has lost the founder of Sveshnikov opening. He was 71 years old, Evgeny Sveshnikov. Um, yes, it's a 45-minute game today that we will see. Okay, the hint is he's a world champion. And the other hint is that we have seen one game of him already from the same tournament in this series. So it was, the year was 1938. No, 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 no one has found it. 1938 is a big hint because then you know that, okay, it's not Kasparov, it's not. Yes, yes, Arutran, you are right. You are right. Yeah, Uday Doifode, you have got it. Uday, you are right. The player whose game we are going to see right now is Mikhail Botvinnik, and this game is superb. Okay, so I can tell you what was happening back then is that Alekhine was the world champion at that point. Okay, and they needed to find a challenger for him, and they held this tournament in Netherlands and 1938. Alekhine himself played, and seven more best players in the world. And there was this youngster at that point whose name was Botvinnik. Botvinnik was just 27 years old. So let me bring up the picture. By the way, guys, no one, absolutely no one should go and check this game out because you have to guess the moves, and for that you should not know the moves or not know the game at all. Please, this is one of the rules that we will have to follow. No using the engines, no using, no trying to figure out what the next move is. It's all that you are going to do with yourself. You are going to think with your mind, giving your 100%. And I would suggest for all the serious players out there, like who are really wanting to max it out from here, take a chessboard by your side, keep it when I'm talking, try to make the moves on the board that are there. And then when I ask a question, you can either type it down in the chat or write it down. Typing or writing really helps in the way that you confirm the move that you want to make. Many times we put it in our head, but that is not enough. You have to write it down. Okay, so in this, at that point, Alekhine was quite old. Okay, but he was still the world champion. And we're going to see this game. It's going to be great fun. Also, remember the tournament, this Avro one, 1938, was won by Paul Keres. However, the problem was the World Championship match did not happen ever. Can anyone tell me why? Although Paul Keres won it, Keres Alekhine World Championship match never happened. Okay, fine. Keres and Fine joined first, yeah. But Keres won on tiebreak because he had beaten Fine. Aditya Chandrayan says Alekhine died, but before Alekhine, there was, yes, World War Two. I mean, the world was in a mess at that time, World War Two, and then Alekhine died, and then 1948 they had another Avro event. 10 years later, after the World War ended, and then in that time, Alekhine and Capablanca, who both played here, had already died, so they had only 6 players playing there, and Botvinnik won, and Botvinnik became the world champion on the basis of winning that tournament. Okay, so shall we begin? Let's go. Are you all ready? Let me know in the chat so that we can get going. And I can start the timer. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's go. So the time starts, and Botvinnik, as we said, is a young blood at that point. 27 back in 1938 was quite a young age. He opened the game with knight f3. Okay. His opponent, Alekhine, of course, with all the years of experience, world champion, went d5. Alekhine played d4. This is a queen's gambit decline now coming up. Knight f6, c4, and e6. QGD. Knight to c3, and the move that was played here was c5. Okay. I'll not tell you the name yet of the opening, but you have to tell me that after cd5, black took knight takes d5. What is the name of this opening that black has played? Any idea? Welcome to all here, guys. As you join in, try to get into the flow of chess. And here it's all about chess and all about learning and improving. Delight Daniel says Tarash, but it's more, there is, yes, very good, very good. It's semi Tarash. Tanish Khandelwal, Savita Chess, Manav Agarwal, who else? Crystal Way, Shirish Shukla. Right, right. It's called the semi Tarash. Why is it called semi? Because you took with the knight. If you take with the pawn, this is already the Tarash defense. So the thing is that here, when you play c5, it's already Tarash. Tarash defense. There was this famous player called Siegbert Tarash. And he had a very famous saying when he would take here. Everyone would be like, Arey Tarash, you are taking with this pawn here. Then white will take here. You will get an isolated pawn. Are you not afraid? And then Tarash said his famous words. One who is afraid of playing with the isolated pawn should not play chess. He said this thing, and then everyone was like, okay. So this opening became the Tarash opening. But then some people used to take with the knight here, and it started to be called the semi-Tarash. Yeah. White could play e4, which is one of the main lines in this position, and then the play usually goes takes, check, and it's an interesting line, this. But white went for the move e3. Botvinnik said, I'll keep it simple, I'll play e3. Okay, no problem. Black went knight to c6. And now there are two ways of developing here. One is to put your bishop on d3, right? The other one is to put your bishop on c4. Botvinnik chose to put his bishop on c4 here. Now, Botvinnik, here, Alekhine took on d4. So, Guys, get ready. This is your first question for the day. What should white play in this position? First question. Let's go. Remember the words of Tarash. Let's see what you guys come up with. I'm very excited. I in general I like to see the level of the chat. It's a very important moment, yeah, in the game. Are you going to take an isolated pawn? Are you going to take with the knight? What is your plan? Okay, I seen a lot of people putting in moves. Dilip for chat says I have school in 40 minutes. Oh man, we'll finish it. We'll finish it in 40 minutes. Yes, Chess Fabregas, your idea is interesting. Mayur Eugene B27 B23 says be bold to play IQP. Interesting. Virendra wants to do something of the beaten path, sorry, I mean usual path. He wants to play e4, but that's not good, knight c3 or pawn takes c3 doesn't look good. Okay, so the move, let's see what are the suggestions that have come in. Let me fix the board here as well. A second. So the move that is very, very interestingly, and I'm glad, yeah, because at the start everyone was like knight d4, knight d4, knight d4, knight d4. Array, ed4, guys. Why? See, if you take with the knight here, okay, then black will take knight c3, b takes c3. Now this is slightly weak. Okay, the more important thing is that let's say after bishop d7. Black is going to finish his development, bishop e7 and castle, and white doesn't have a good position. So here it is absolutely important to take with the pawn and take an isolated queen pawn for yourself. Okay, as rightly pointed out, this bishop also is now open. Don't be afraid of playing with an isolated queen pawn. Okay, it's not a bad structure if all the pieces are on the board and you are going to play actively. This pawn is not going to fall on its own. You should have the confidence of playing with it. Like, feel the freeness of your position, feel the openness, feel that, yeah, wow, we have our pieces all open. Okay, so what are the who are the people who said ed4 first? Eugene, Lakshya, Kimaya, Amazax, Santanu, Union, Chess Fabregas, Kunal, Hemalata, Shivam Shah. Well done, all of you. Okay, so now ed4, he played bishop e7. Now you will notice that if he takes, I'm very happy because it bolsters my center. Okay, so he played bishop e7. Here white castles and black also castles. Now this is a very, very well-known position here that was reached. Actually, it's theory still, but I want you to take some time here for the second question. What should white play in this position? White to play. There are several moves, I believe, here in this position, but still, I want to see what do you come up with. Rakshit, after ed4, knight c3, bc3, white has good strong center. You move the bishop, then try for c4. Those hanging pawns, pretty good. Chess Fabregas says this is the first time I've been quick enough to feature on there. He's the guy who's created that feature and he's come there for the first time. Okay, guys, all those who are joining in, please don't open this game on another tab and look at the moves. There is nothing that you will gain out of me calling out your name. It's more for you learning, okay, and getting better. I like the moves that are being suggested. I like it. Yes, we shouldn't try to exchange too many pieces, but you have to exchange at the right time. Okay, so here the move that was played in this game was rook e1, and one full point to everyone who said this move. This is a nice move, a useful move, putting the rook on the half open file. The other move that is possible, and I would also give some points for, is a3, just improving the position. A3 is possible, but maybe half a point for it. The other thing which people really want to do many times is take here, and I don't like this position, because see, you have gotten rid of the weakness of the IQP, because now there is no longer a piece in front of it. But the problem is that after, let's say, a move like bishop d3, you have opened up his bishop, which is a beautiful piece, and now black has no problems in general. So that is the reason why let's not go there and take it. Rook e1, very useful move. Many times, I have heard people saying, why should I play a move like rook e1? What does it achieve? It is hitting its head on the e6 pawn, things like that. The rook is better placed than what it was on f1, and it will be useful because this is a semi-open file, and many times, you can take on d5 and open up the files and so on. Now, a very important note to all of you, this is a very good position to learn, because it can come from many different openings. Like, let's say e4 c6 Karo Khan, d4 d5, ed cd, c4, knight f6, knight c3, e6, knight f3, knight c6, cd, knight d5, bishop c4, bishop e7, castles, and rook e1. Same position came from Karo Khan. We went from the knight f3 move order. So it's when such positions come, it's very useful because you can use it in many different openings. Okay, rook e1, and now the main moves here, guys. Main moves are bishop f6, knight takes c3. There is also a move like a6 in the position. Sometimes black also goes back knight f6. But Alekhine was a bit old at that point, and he was like, aaj thoda अपने ज़माने में बच्चा है, young kid, Botvinnik in front of us. Let me play b6, and Botvinnik was like, really, Alekhine, you want to play this move? So white to play. Time for your third point in this position. This is a bad move by black. What do you do? Come on. Third point over here. What do you do in this position? Let's see who's going to get it quickly. Well, what is the idea of b6? The idea of b6, guys, is very clear. If Alekhine is able to get his bishop here, he will be nicely positioned with all his pieces developed. He wants to eventually get his rook to c8, bishop f6, knight e7. Ooh, that was a great position. Beautiful. I like that you guys thought of LPDO, which is loose pieces drop off, and you saw that the knight on c6 is slightly loose in the air. Yes, it does matter. Let's see what is it that you guys come up with here. Whoa, bishop to b5. Queen a4. Okay. Knight e5. Knight d5. Bishop d. Queen b3. Okay, not bad moves. Let's take them one by one. I don't like queen b3 for a very serious reason. Knight a5. I lose my bishop here. Do not want to play such a move. I don't like bishop b5 because it really helps black to finish his development, and I got nothing. Why did I move my bishop there? I'm not going to give up my beautiful bishop for this knight. So not a good move. The other move which was recommended was queen a4. Once again, after bishop b7, I don't see such a big thing, but maybe here black can even improve his play with knight c3, bc3, and then bishop b7. when black is better slightly. What else did you guys say? Yeah, knight e5 was mentioned here. But after, let's say, knight takes c3, attacking the queen. If you take on c6, I take on d1. So let's say you take back, but then I take on e5, pawn takes e5. If you take pawn takes e5, I can even take queen takes d1, rook takes d1, and here bishop c5 with the idea of bishop b7. I think black is much, much better in this position. So you will see, and you can take with the rook as well. But after, let's say, a move like bishop b7, black has no problems. He's done with his development, put his bishop here, maybe pawn here, rook c8. He's doing really well. So that is the reason why we actually narrow down to the main move in this position. And guys, remember, it's all a matter of one move in chess. A little bit of a thing changes and everything changes. So here knight takes d5. Now remember, previously I had told you that this is not a good move, right? Knight takes d5 was not a good move previously, because after ed5 it was opening up this bishop here and black was doing very well. But a small thing has changed here. Just to let you know who all have given knight d5 as the answer: I am Puneet, Virendra, Aditya Kulkarni, 18P3481, Ashish Anand, Deepak, Harshraj, Bondita, Balram, and Jatin. All of you, well done. Now, in this position, after ED5, it's not for points, but just for you to understand what should white do. Come on, it's easy. Now you know what to do. Oh, nice. Shankesh says, yesterday after watching 1E4, I played the Roy Lopez and won 3 games in a row and now reached 1600. Awesome. Awesome. Santanu Biswa says, now bishop will be blocked if it comes to b7. Yes, but he will develop the bishop on the other diagonal. But here, if you, let's say, if you are naive and you play bishop d3, then you can get into this trouble again. Okay, b6, not a very helpful move. There could be ideas of this knight hanging like bishop h7, king h7, queen c2, but it doesn't work. Yeah, like king g8, queen c6, bishop f3, and it spoils the structure there. But yes, exactly. So the point here is to play bishop b5. It's not even about this move attacking the knight as such. I know that you can defend it. You can play bd7 or bb7. The point is that key tempo. The key tempo prevents this bishop from coming here, and now white can, just अपने opponent पे हावी हो जाएगा. Like he will put so much pressure on his opponent with one move after the other. And now notice that you can't defend this with the queen in any way, because I can just take and take your bishop. Again, LPDO, guys, keep in mind. And you will notice how the rook now is smiling. He's like, thank you, e6 pawn, for moving away. Now I'm super active on the e file. Okay, the knight is hanging. And in this position, he played the move bishop d7, which was again a slight inaccuracy. He should have played bishop b7, but you can feel it. Yes, bishop had a lot of beautiful dreams of coming out on this diagonal. It's like you were studying for becoming, okay, let's not go there. I know a lot of people here are studying for different exams, and then you had to settle for something which was not your plan. That's what this bishop is feeling. It wanted to go to g4, but it has to settle down for b7. Even this position is better for white, but this would have been relatively better. He went bd7, and now again, not for points, guys, just so that you can tell me what should white play here. Just think about the move. Keep it active, keep it going quick. uh yes. Yeah, I like that all of you are suggesting some active moves. Now remember one thing, okay? There is one suggestion in the chat by Rakshit who says take on c6, which is interesting. Take on c6 and knight e5. Uh, this looks like a good idea on the surface. But after I play bd7, let's say in such a position, you really are not pushing for an advantage here as such, because I have the bishop pair for now, and whenever you take this bishop, I'm okay. Also, the knight can be kicked off at the right moment. So yes, it looks pleasant for white, but there is no way you can take advantage of it. So let's not get tempted by that. The right move, the right move here, that is suggested by many of you. In fact, I'm very glad it's the main move. It's not for points, but still I would like to show you just so that you know that you guys are doing really well. Being brilliant at chess, I am Puneet, Dhyana Sirin, Bondita, Pritham, Tushar, Shritu, Harshal, Krikvio, and 18p3. Well done. So the move here is queen to a4. I improve my queen's position and I attack the knight. Now here rook c8 is possible in this position. It is a good move, but and also notice you cannot win this pawn right after take and take. This is a very being very greedy. How should black get a good position here? Black to play. I know that some of you are going to fall for this. See, Dhyana Sirin fell for it. Deepa Sathappan fell for it. Bondita, all strong players fell for it. Aishwarya, Chess Fabregas, Anjaneya, Rakesh Kumar, being brilliant at chess. This is what? Oh, but Arutran didn't fall for it. Well done, Arutran. Excellent. The full chat is filled with Ruket. Guys, utho. Utho, subah ho gayi, mamu. It is morning. What are you guys doing? Rook 8. Queen takes e7. LPDO, bishop is hanging. You have to save the bishop. Bishop b4, hitting the rook. And next move, rook 8. Your plan is correct. The rook is getting trapped. But don't get in. Don't fall. Oh, wow. Queen trap. Let's jump. And then you lose the bishop. So here you cannot take on c6. That was the reason bishop b4 was strong. But that position is still very pleasant. I don't want to reveal the move after rook c8 because it's the same move that happened in the game. So he went knight b8 in this position that was played. And here I want you for your fourth point to think, what should white do here? Just think about it and let's do it. It's like a position where there are many moves which are good, but I still want to see if any of you comes up with not so good move. Sometimes, when I see a move and I'm like, oh, bishop hanging. And then I'm like, okay, let's ask the chat because they will also fall for it. And then you fall for it. Because you guys, of course, are very alert in general. But there are times when you see something great and you want to grab it immediately. That's where you need to be slightly more patient. Yes, in this position, actually, there are a couple of good moves, and that's why I wanted to see what are your suggestions. So let's have a look at the chat chess moves. Yes, the top two moves are the best two moves in the position. Well done. Actually, excellent job. Knight e5 has been mentioned over here by Live Chess, Adarsh, Deep Sathan, Abhishek, Reel, Sunay, Bondita, Balram, Delight, Daniel, and Ashish Anand. And Bishop f4 by Arutran, Dhyana Sareen, Anjaneya, being brilliant, Ruby, Chirag, Santanu, I'm Puneet, Shubham, and Aditya. These are the people who have mentioned this and this. Both are strong moves. In the game, Botvinnik went for Bishop f4. It's a good move. It's a good developing move. You can see how White's position is now very nicely placed. All his pieces are great. So bishop takes b5 was played. He took a6, pushing the queen away. Queen a4. Bishop d6. And now here Botvinnik took on d6. Queen takes d6. And time for your fifth point, guys. What do you do here with white? White to play. How do you go about it? Union King says, Sagar, where do you get these games from? It is in the mega database. In fact, this game is also annotated by Kasparov in the mega database. I have the link of getting Chessbase and mega database in the description. You can get it from there. But more importantly, I have seen all these games when I was young. And so I just sit back and I try to think which was the game that made deep impact on me. I'm like, every day I think of one game and I come here, polish it, understand it better, and then we do this session. Now remember, guys, this is the position where you have to make sure that you have a slight lead in development. Okay? Your position in general, it's symmetrical, but you have a slight lead in development, and it makes sense to be very, very accurate about what you are doing. I haven't a clue, says Mayur. Mine says don't guess, but Rook has another open file to sit on C1. Yeah. This is an important thing that we can discuss about is when to think a lot and when to just play on feel. And it's not an easy thing actually, because there are moments where you want to play on feel, where you have to calculate. Here you want to calculate, but then so you start calculating with moves like knight e5. Then you say to yourself, oh, there is f6. Then what should I do? He will come knight d7. You can spend hours and hours trying to minutes and minutes to figure out what to do. But then you say, hey, here's an open file, and let me put my rook here, and it turns out to be the right move. There is no one magic potion for it. You have to have that intuition here. Rook belongs on the open file. All those who found this move, brilliant job. And in fact, I'm glad that many of you did. Here, Rook AC1 by Dhyana Serene, Deepa Sattappan, Mangesh, being brilliant, Deepak, Savita, Arutran, Pranjal, Aditya, and Santanu Biswas. Good job by all of you. Knight e5 is the next move. Rook e8 looks very tempting. Rook c1 also mentioned, but guys, all those who said just rook c1, please write rook ac1 or rook fc1, right? So here the thing is, rook e8 looks very tempting after rook e8, but the problem is that I'll go knight d7. And black is not going to get back rank mated, right? There's no way. The other move is knight e5, which also looks good. It stops the development of the knight. But then I push you back with f6. You go back and then I play knight maybe d7. And once again, okay, white is still better. There are weaknesses here. But rook ac1 is just the correct move. It's like keeping all your cards open and asking black what he wants to do. So black went rook a7. Now, time for your sixth point in the position. What does white do here? White to play. Come on, think. White to play. Kanish Gupta, you just have to write it in the chat. You have to write it in the chat. Think now. This is an important moment once again. Always try to look at the best options for your opponent as well when you are thinking. Okay, let's look at, many of you are doing such great ideas here. Yeah, finding some good ideas. Let's see. Rook e8 is clearly the highest vote receiving move. Knight e5 is the next. Rook c8. Tactical guys who have just woken up and they're like, oh, let's be Mikhail Tal and play this move. Guys, after I take, you check me. Some may even do like, oh, let's go with the queen. Take here, take here, take here. And oh my god, the queen comes in. You are a rook down, time to resign. So, beautiful game. Botvinnik playing in the Avro tournament wants to become a world champion and you just blunder a rook. Yeah, not good. Rook e8 is possible. But let's say after a move like rook c7, I don't see how you can make tremendous amount of progress. Like you take here, I take back with the king. The queen is well positioned, but it's not coming into e8. So this doesn't look particularly enticing. There's also knight e5 that you guys have mentioned over here. Yes, much better than previously. Right now, if I play f6, this more weakening in the position because the back rank is also weak. But let's say I go rook e7 here. Try to fight on. I think knight e5 is not a bad move. I'll give a half a point for knight e5. But the move that was played and which is very, very strong and which was actually mentioned by only 5 of you. I am Puneet, being brilliant at chess, Ruby Gupta, Corrupted Monk and Eugene. Guys, I want to inform all of you here. Whoever has the game open and is looking at the moves and writing this, please don't do it. I know most of you are being truthful here and just writing the moves that come to your mind. But anyone who's doing this, like keeping the games open just so that their name comes up, please don't do it. It spoils the fun. It spoils the learning process. Queen c2 is the correct move in this position. And the main point is that your pieces are very, very active on the c file. You want to infiltrate. Basically, you are telling black, hey, you can't develop your knight on b8 because I'm going to come to c6 and try to exchange. Okay, so let's say knight d7, you can go here, you can exchange, then this is weak. You see the weaknesses part. Do you feel it, guys? Do you feel the weaknesses in this position? Do you feel that black's position has more weaknesses than white, although the pawn structure is symmetrical, like 2 pawns here, iske bhi 2 pawns hai, iske bhi 1 pawn, this is also there. You need to feel this, because if you feel it, then you will be like, yes, this is a position worth going into. If you don't feel it, you will be like, are equal a position. Yes, the pawn here dominates the knight. It cannot come here or here. Yes, black feels a bit loose. Okay, cool. RD6 is also a threat. Absolutely. Okay. In the game, Alekhine played rook e7. Then Botvinnik took, queen takes, and now not for points, but just very quickly, guys. I want everyone in the chat to write this move. What should white play? Not for points, but come on. You know it. You know these stuff. Peter Kavanaugh, yes, rook e3 would also be nice. The idea is that in such a scenario which happens, you can infiltrate via the c file. So if you were wanting to play in this position, even like something like rook e3 with the idea of rook c3 or rook e1, not a bad move. I would give a point to it. It's not a bad move. Queen c2, rook e7, takes. Pranjal Kumar says h4, let's attack. Not bad, yeah, Pranjal Kumar. I like your move, h4. It's just a very useful move. It gets rid of the back rank. Oops, not the queen takes. And it gains space. It's a nice move. I like it. Rook e1, many people are saying here. But then after, let's say, something like queen d6 or let's say even queen b4, black is still clinging on. He'll go knight d7, knight f6. He'll improve his position. So, the right move here, as many of you... No, h4 is not slow here. I mean, see, black can't do much. So, h4 I like is an improving move. But the move that is really very cool is queen c7. And those of you who mentioned queen c7, well done. I think Majesty Bunny, you want to play knight e5. I know this move is very tempting, but f6, knight f3. Yeah, it's like, you many times go in, ask him to play f6, provoke a weakness and come back. But did it help you to improve your position? I'm not 100% sure. It maybe did. It maybe did. This is a weakness. 7th rank becomes slightly more weak. So knight e5 possible, yeah. But queen c7, guys, get the 7th rank if you can. And that is a good move. He took, queen takes. Okay, rook takes. And now you will see that although the equal pawns, white is better. He has the active pieces. A very good move here by Alekhine was played because he was the world champion. He was very, very smart. He was very, very cool. What did black play here? A useful move. Killing two things at the same time. Two birds at the same time. Who can find it? Come on, come on, come on. Quickly. Seventh heaven, KSB. Yes, Karan Singh. Yes, Anjanaya Kakar, Shubham Yadav, Durgesh Kulkarni, I am Puneet, Jaideep Chakrabarti, Mayur Gondhalekar, Real Rehman. Very good. So all the people who are saying h6, I get your point. You want to get rid of the back rank weakness, but why not kill two birds with one stone with f6? You get rid of the back rank weakness, but you also stop him from coming to e5. Isn't that a good idea? So f6 was played, a very cool move by Alekhine. And here Botvinnik realized that he has to be careful. If he goes rook b7 trying to hunt after a pawn, then black will activate himself. How to activate with black, guys? What should black do? Lucian, if knight h4, then maybe I have rook f7 there. Rook c8, rook f8. Trying to play that. Or maybe I can even go g6, stopping knight f5. But f6 doesn't make a flight square with the rook on c7. No, it does not, but it prevents back rank mate, right? When you give a check, then I'll come out. Yes, this is a very important moment, guys. Many times you have control over the position. You are like in a superior position. But you make a move like rook b7 and you say to yourself, mere ko pawn chahiye. And black says, bhai pawn le, take the pawn. I get activity. Don't ever trade activity for material when you are better. Okay, if you can control everything, great. But choose activity most of the times, okay? So a very logical move here for white would be, let's see. I mean, here white to play. What would you play? It's not for points, but how would you continue? What would you do here with white? Come on. It's a simple move. It's what Hari Krishna would do instantly. It's a big hint. Yes. 18p3 481. Well done. Delight Daniel, Reyansh Kumar, Tushar Damor, I am Puneet, Union King, Arutran. Excellent. I think knight h4 is just trying to probe on f5, but then after g6, the knight will anyway have to come back. It's not very useful provoking that. But a very good idea is king f1, because many times in our games, we think it's not the right time to activate the king. You feel like, अरे king को बाद में activate करेंगे. But many times king activation is the key thing in the position. So, Alekhine said, exchange rook. Botvinnik, let's exchange rook. Botvinnik said, no. My rook is active. Check. Alekhine said, exchange rook. Let's do it, yeah. Botvinnik, yeah. Let's draw now, I'm the world champion. Respect me. So Botvinnik now to move 7th point in the position. What do you do here? 7th point. Yes, it's like GM Abish activating the king. For GM Abish, it's like activating at any point. For good players, it's like activating at the right time. For great players, they can activate any time, the king. Okay, that's a joke. But Yes, Jaideep, it's an interesting idea. Jaideep says that he wants to go knight h4, g6, g3 with the idea of knight g2, knight f4, knight e6. Not a bad idea at all. But what will happen is when you go knight g2, he will then push his pawn to g5. Yes, then you can go to e3. In fact, it's not at all a silly idea. Like, let's just have a look at it once this is done. Let's see what are the answers which are coming up here. So the move that, of course, you can repeat it once more, but the main idea is rook c3. Brilliant. I mean, guys, well done. And Gauri Raju, Lucian, Arutran, Deepak, Vivek, Venkatrangan, I am Puneet, Ojas, Deep Satappan, and Savita Chess. You are right. The move here is rook to c3, keeping the rooks. Guys, if you have an active piece and your opponent's piece is passive, no point in exchanging them. Keep it on the board. Okay. So the one of the ideas that was suggested here was knight h4, g6, and g3. Like it. The point being that you want to reroute the knight from g2 here and knight e3 to attack this. Yeah. Looks like a very interesting plan. I was thinking maybe rook f7, but then you can come back and it's the same concept. Yeah, nice. I think then if you are doing this with knight h4, it's a good way to continue. King f1, rook f7, check, rook c3, good move. And now g5 was played by Alekhine, who felt like maybe he would do this plan. So he stopped it with the move g5. Botvinnik said, well, if one road is closed, I will choose the other. I will go with my knight from here to e3 to attack this pawn. Or I can also jump to b4 to attack this pawn. And here he played the move h5 in this position. And now the thing is, Botvinnik could have continued with his original plan in this position, but he came up with a brilliant idea here. White to play, guys. What do you do? And this, just soak it in, yeah? Just look at this position independently. Just look at it nicely. Soak in what black has just played his move h5. What do you do here with white for your 8th point in the game? This is just, the concept is so great. Concept is just brilliant here. B stats, welcome. What would you play here with white is the question. How do you take advantage of guys, and all those who have joined in just right now, a small piece of advice to you. Please don't open the game on another tab and look at the move that was played. Try to guess on your own. You will learn a lot from that. Yes. Here, look at this move, guys. So, Botvinnik could have continued knight c2. But most likely, Alekhine would have gone king f7. Knight e3 and king e6, or even rook d8. Let's say king e6. And yes, white is pushing here, but black is he's trying to hang on, hang on in every possible way in this position. So Botvinnik said, in order to break this, I want to create more weaknesses. I want to create, and this is just, the concept is so good, guys. Look at this move, h4. You're like, what? How all of a sudden h4? Point is that if firstly he pushes the pawn, now you will see that there are two weaknesses instead of one. How do you create a weakness, guys? This is all about creation of weakness. You create a weakness by fixing a weak point. So here you will see that a new weakness, this is already weak. What is one more weakness that is created? What is one more weakness that is created in this position after h4? Yes, union king, you are right. h5 and d5 is weak. Rutvik Satkar, yes, f4 square becomes weak. So your knight can sit there. Correct? So knight d3 to f4 that attacks d5 and h5, both the pawns. It's it's such a nice concept, isn't it? To play h4, force him. So black can take, like here, g takes h4. But the result is the same. I go knight f3 here, take back, and then this pawn is weak. Or I can even consider knight to d3 and knight f4. It's a pawn sacrifice to, break up his structure. I'll recover my pawn. So this is the reason why here h4 is such a classy move, and I really want to see how many of you got it. Sunay h5 was written by so many people. I don't know why. Sunay Mukherjee, Dinadev, I am Puneet, Kishan, Dhyana Sarin, Lucian, Bondita, Venkatrangan, Savita, and Amish. Well done, all of you. The move was h4 in this position. Alekhine played knight to d7 here, and now Botvinnik went rook c7, 7th rank, full control in the position, rook to f7, and now 9th point, guys. What do you do here? White to play. Come on. What do you do in this position? It's white to move. What do you do? h5 for the weakness that I asked. Oh, okay. Sorry for that. I thought it's the move. Yes, h5 is weak. True. Sorry. I thought rook h3 after gh4. Yes, Savita, don't lose balance after winning a pawn. Rook is well placed on c file. It can go to c7. Yes, I'll take 5 minutes extra. We are coming to the end of this game. So couldn't finish it in 45 minutes, but needed 5 minutes more. Force करो, opponent को force करो, make him do what you want. Yes. Many of you are giving the right answer. Let's check it out. The right move here is knight d3 possible. Where is the knight going? To b4. Maybe if he goes a5, then where does your knight go? Knight f3. Yes. Look at this move, guys. Okay, see, knight d3 is also okay. Completely fine. a5. I'm basically stopping your knight from coming here and here. Okay, you will reroute eventually, maybe figure out a way like rook c6 to d6. Even rook c6 is a good move. Giridhar says, gaining a lot of knowledge from your streams. Thank you so much, Giridhar. And that's the idea. Like, you have to become stronger in chess so that when tournaments happen, when you play, when you follow other events, you can understand these top level games better. Knight f3 attacks this pawn. Now the point is, if he takes here, you take with the knight, and the knight is coming to f5. These pawns are all weak. So he has to play g4, and Botvinnik is like, thank you so much. 91. And this is the beauty of the position. Black can't do much, and my knight is coming once again. I provoked him. I made him. Creating weakness is such an art. It's such an art to create a weakness and then sit on it and attack. It's beautiful. So, yes, and knight f3 is much stronger than hg5, guys, because if you take here, and then play this, then after, let's say, g4, it's not clear as to what you are doing. But with the pawn still on f6, then the f5 square becomes weak. So here g4, knight e1, f5, and Alekhine was like, here f4. I am not going to let that knight sit on that square. Guys, this is your final point in the game, because after this move, you are winning. All the things that you have learned today about weaknesses, fixing a weakness, all of that, attacking it, time to put it to use. White to move. Come on. Yeah, exactly, Savita. He did this in the game. The same thing. Knight e5 doesn't work. Yeah, knight takes e5. You lose the game. So don't do that. Don't write that. Now, you would be like, oh, I can win a pawn. But guys, you remember, never try to win a pawn if you are giving your opponent activity. Crush him. See, all of you greedy people in the chat. Everyone keeps saying greedy, weedy, but guys, you are more greedy. एक pawn दिखाने के लिए pawn. अरे रुको, he is tied up. Fix the weakness. It will fall like ripe apples. You know, there's one way to look at it is there's a mango on the tree and you're just hitting the mango with stones and you're climbing up the tree and you want it and then you expend so much energy. The other one is just to wait. Relax. It will fall on its own. Here is a position like that. Let's see how many of you are able to find this move. Yes, the second highest move in the position, but I'm very sorry to say, but knight f4 is not a good move. Soham Gupta, being brilliant at chess, Puneet, Real Rayman, Samarth, William, Deena, Sulochana, Sparsh and Abhishek LR. So the move here that was played and which is the best one is f3, guys, fixing the f4 weakness. Ab ye weakness kahin nahi bhag payega. So after g takes f3, this will remain weak forever. Now, all those who said here, knight b4, not a bad move. This is a good move. But let's say after something like knight f6, you can take on a6. You will be a pawn up. But again, as I told you, activity is black is given activity with something like, let's say, f3. Now, knight b4 is not a bad idea, but knight f4 is a bad idea. Because let's say after take, you have lost all your advantage in this rook endgame. It's equal. You should never get into such situations. Like now rook d2, this is hanging. So it's very important to keep control here with f3, takes. And now, guys, you will see. Okay, now all the points have been exhausted. I just want you to focus on Botvinnik's play. Yeah, the game is over from my end. I'll just show you this here. He played, black was like, मैं करूँ क्या? Knight move नहीं कर सकता because he will take the rook and then he'll take the pawn without giving up anything in the position. A5, what did he do? A4, wait. King f8, he played rook to c6. King e7, he improved his king. Rook f5, he played b3. Guys, look at this art of just being calm. There's no hurry. King d8, king e2, waiting. Black king also cannot move. Knight cannot move because ye pawn ko atak gaya hai. And the rook is also tied up. So in a way, you can see white has such domination. Knight. Now, Alekhine was getting really a little bit nervous here. And he said, okay, fine. Knight b8, pawn le lo if you want to take. And again, how many of you here want to take the pawn in this position on b6? Or else it's something else. It's some kind of a zugzwang. But again, you will see so alert. Botvinnik is so alert. What is the problem with rook takes b6? That is my question here. Because he's given up a pawn and you want to take it. You want to take the pawn. But what is the problem? What is the problem here? Black to play. You have to look at your opponent's possibilities when you are trying to gain material. Yes, being brilliant at chess. Arutran, yes, exactly. Aditya Chandrayan, Chesser Sarthak, Vardhan Shah, Savita Chess, Ahan Nawab. Correct. The move is king c7. I attack the rook. Next move, the knight comes here and the d4 pawn is hanging. That is the problem. That is a big issue here. So that's the reason why these top players do not fall for these tricks, guys. They keep control because they're always thinking, they end their calculation with their opponent's move. They always think about opponent's possibilities. Wo kya karega if I do this? Rook g6. The idea is rook g5, creating a passer here like this, and then f4 is hanging. King c7. Now he went knight e5, dominating the knight on b8 because now knight can't come here. You can't go here. There is rook g7 pinning. He went knight a6. You could go rook g5 here. It's a strong move, but he gave a check. King c8 and now knight to c6. Once again, trying to dominate this knight over here. Threatening knight e7 fork. Of course, black had to be careful. Rook f6. Check here. king b8 and knight d5. You see guys, this is the moment when the mango just fell. You know, he didn't run after it, he didn't go for anything, it just fell on its own accord. Here rook d6 and rook g5, keeping complete control. And after knight b4, he said, okay, thank you so much, I'll take, and I'll take here. It was also possible to play king d3, which is just keeping control. You have total control on the position. This is going to fall. Rook b5, b4, b6 is going to fall. So he went rook. He played rook h5. Black didn't take, because if you take here after rook f5 followed by h5, h6, this is a weak pawn. It's over. So therefore he went rook c6, trying to get active. Rook b5, king c7, chopped off another pawn. Rook here, rook b5, he took the pawn. But after king d3, Alexander Alekhine resigned, because king e4 is coming, f4 is weak, it will fall, and then it will be 3 pawns up. It was one of the most beautiful positional games that you will ever see. Yeah. The main thing is you have to, you might say sometimes, you know, I was waiting for the mango to fall, and instead if I'd gone and grabbed it, that would have been better. Yes, it's true. It's an art to know when to wait, when to do it, when not to go all in, when to just be calm. It's really not easy, but I hope that with seeing more games like these, it develops patience in you, it develops your positional understanding, it helps you to understand how to take advantages, how to create weaknesses, how to fix. Now, couple of things that I would like you all to do. One is that if anyone has the time to put in 10 timestamps of the 10 questions asked, please do so. The second one is if you can write down what you learned from the game in the comments, I would be very grateful. The time is up. Yes, it took me 10 minutes more to finish this game, but we have done it. And lastly, I would just like to recap for all those who are here. The real problem began when black went b6. It's only a matter of making one weak move against players like Botvinnik, and he's all over you. Bishop b5, and then, you know, the other next move which I really found to be tremendous in this game over here was that after he played h5 to fix another weakness with h4. What a beautiful idea. And then again, opponent comes here not to get tempted, but fixing another weakness in the position with f3. Yes, and always try to think what your opponent wants to do, and in the end he won the game. So guys, I think that was all for today. We have a new member, Turbo Sanju Gaming. Thank you, Turbo Sanju Gaming, for becoming a member. And all of you, I hope you enjoyed. We'll soon have the 25th episode of Chess Classics You Must Know. I'm enjoying this series, and I hope you too are. Thank you all for tuning in early in the morning and learning from here. And see you all soon later today. Bye bye.